Hey, how's it going? I know. Crazy hectic, right? Well, sit back and relax and welcome to the Mom and Pop Spot. Help me welcome my dad and the host of the show, St. Patrick.
Welcome to all my moms, pops, guardians, and guests. This is episode number 20 of the Mom and Pop Spot podcast. My co-host Bernice had to do some mommy dues today, so she'll be out today. And I did want to just take a quick, moment of silence for Tyree Nichols. I said the name right? Tyree Nichols.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick moment of silence. Okay. So today we're going to be talking to a great father. I have a dear friend. I've known him since grade school. I'm not even sure if he really remembers me in school, but it's actually an honor to see this guy who's now become a great father. I appreciate you. So please show love to Michael to the show.
What's up?
Yeah. Do you remember me in school?
Somewhat, man. Like
Okay.
I feel like I remember faces, but
Yeah.
it's vaguely. You know what I'm saying? Like, but one thing about me, like I'll always remember a face somewhere, and know, like I remember seeing that face for somewhere. But then again, like the names,
Yeah.
kind of like you talking to someone, but then you don't know their name, so you playing it off a little bit. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I remember like a lot of people from school. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get my hands on the yearbook just to kind of go back and
I
revisit
would
those
love
days.
to go back. Yeah, I actually went to the school and I was trying to get some old school yearbooks and they were like, nah, we don't do that anymore. And I'm like,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
everything done online now. Shit,
Yeah. Yeah, I wish. But it's funny because usually when I talk to people from, grade school, whatever the case is, the reason why they don't remember me is because I started using my middle name. I used to go by Ray.
Okay.
But the reason why I changed it is like I got tired of people, you remember when they used to do the Anna Vanna Bonana, whatever the case is? They used to do that with my name. They used to do Gay Ray Eats Hay by the Bay, and I was like, fuck that. I'm changing my name. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So me, before we get started though,
Yeah.
I remember watching the show with you and Chimone, and y'all was talking about like the whole tetherball champion and stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, Chimone suck boo boo. You know what I'm saying? Like he sucked ass with it.
Yeah.
For the most part. But I was one of those ones that was like tetherball champion. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like there was a few. You remember like Michael Chavez?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I got him on Facebook.
Yeah. That's my cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's my. I ain't talked to him in a while, but I think one time I shot him a text message or he called me on accident.
Yeah.
I hit him back, but yeah, me and Michael used to be real cool. But Michael
Yeah.
was one of those tetherball champion players too, man.
Yeah.
Like it's a
I'll
lot of
shoot
us.
him this episode and I'll tell him like, hey, like you should have a competition. Yeah. Hey, Elijah, do me a favor. Can you pan into this empty chair over here?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me when you do.
Yeah, we're there.
Because this chair was actually supposed to be sat in by Tremone, but he bailed out. So I want to make sure I call out Tremone for not
Yeah.
showing up.
Yeah.
You
know I'm gonna talk about this one.
Yes,
I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. He literally did what every other guest has done where they bail out. They don't even tell me, like literally moments before. I'm assuming they're coming on and then he doesn't show up. So where you at, Tremone? Like we're waiting for you. You know what I mean? There's still time. You can still make it, but I
think
don't
he
know.
might need that womp womp.
I'm just gonna say this. Just the term was black people. That's
Yeah.
it.
This is for you, Tremone. Yeah. But we will get him back on. I want to call out a few other people that are supposed to be coming on. Mega, where you at? Crystal is another one supposed to come on. Libby, let's have a
Man,
Harris Hawk like
man.
reunion
Shit,
on the show.
You need an extra clip.
Yeah.
Airing it out right now.
Get
Yeah.
another one more for all those that ain't showed up yet.
You guys need to come on. Give me a chance. Like we're having fun on here. But so to get back into the show, how are you doing from 1 to 10, mentally and emotionally?
How am I doing from 1 to 10?
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, I feel like I'm a good solid 8, 9, or 10. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Like I'm in a position where, I'm not stressing.
Yeah.
I'm working.
Yeah.
I got the wife and the kids at the house, so I have everything that I need and everything that I want. So
Nice.
you know what I mean? As far as right now, I think mentally I'm straight.
Yeah.
I'm trying to this year, which I know it's like every year thing, you know what I'm saying? But this year specifically, I'm trying to go harder than what I was doing last year. So for the
Nice.
most part, like I'm not struggling, but I want better. I want
Yeah.
more. So
What is one thing you hope to accomplish?
for me,
Yeah.
shit, I'm trying to land a position with the fire department.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and with that, it's a long process and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're trying to get on with a specific fire department. So for me, I finished my EMT certification back in 2020.
Yeah.
And we're already now in 2023. So for the most part, is just trying to get on with the fire department. But some of them, it's pretty much kind of been, slacking on my end.
Yeah.
And then a few of them, I got some movement, but I wasn't selected. So this year, like, I'm hoping to get on with Peoria right now, and pretty much just kind of go towards that career, just because I've been doing the same thing for so many years, working for like higher education. You know what I'm saying? I work for University of Phoenix, Everest College, Bank of America, and now I'm at Grand Canyon University. So it's doing the same role. And I feel like I wanted to do more to make a big difference, you know what I'm saying? And for those that are in that fire world, you know what I'm saying, like they go above and beyond.
Yeah.
And so I'm definitely wanting to change gears and just switch into something different. So I'm hoping just to kind of excel with that this year, or just soon, hopefully. So yeah.
Yeah. Best of luck. And if you need us to, me and Elijah, we can go in the back. We could light some stuff on fire, and then you can act like surprised, like, oh my goodness.
Can I go first? Can I go first? I'll go first.
He could take out the fire, and then we can just like randomly submit it to Peoria.
You know what I'm saying? Like anything that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost forgot one name that actually has also been, saying that he's going to come on, and he never comes on. He threatens it, whatever the case is, and he also shines out. Thomas, this is also for you.
Womp.
Yeah, that's for you, Thomas, because he's another one.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas, I mean, we talked about it a couple of weeks back, man. So now that I'm on here and I did it before you, like, I'm going to get you to come to the next one, though.
Yeah, he was very adamant about saying, like, oh, I got him on. But I was like, I don't know. Tremont literally left the show, and Michael hit me up. So I was like,
yeah. I'm like, man, I'm going to talk about it and be about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all about the action. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And how's parenting treating you?
I mean, for the most part, like I got a spouse at the house with me. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people that I know that don't have like a co-parent with them, or they're doing it by themselves, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But for me, like me and my wife has been married almost 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So for the most part, for me and her, we do it together.
Yeah.
And where I lack at, she picks up. And basically where she lacks at, then I pick up. So I think for me and her, us doing it together, like it kind of makes the household more easier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So parenting wise, it's great, man.
Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. It was in regards to to being married, because of the fact that it's another accomplishment. A lot of people like to just necessarily throw in the towel, but it's like when you get to like 10 years, 15 years, bro, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, man, I've been through some shit with you, but I would literally just keep making it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I mean, you got to think about like the older generation. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that got to 50 or 60 and they still doing it. You can tell they had like that grumpy attitude, but they want to change it for the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even those older couples where they broke up but they came back, it's like they still as one. So like I'm definitely trying to be one of those ones where like my grandparents was together for over 60 years. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely one of those ones that's wanted to have that same thing going for me.
Yeah, I've been married for 13 years.
Okay.
Congrats. Yeah, and I love it because the fact that, like, I mean, she supports me, but at the same time she keeps me in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I love
Break
about
out
it.
that whip.
Yeah. So I'm just like, and anything challenging this week with parenthood?
This week?
Yeah.
Shit. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, because now that since COVID's hit, like we both work from home, so we're at the house with the kids. You know what I'm saying? So the kids get to school 7:00 in the morning. Well, 7:30. They rush. Like school don't start at 8, but my kids be like, we gotta get out the house at 7:30. Like they want to get their mingle with their friends and stuff. But I also got a sitter that comes in and manages my twins that's also at the house too. So she watches them while we're working. So for the most part, like things, it just flows. But I don't really think we have too many issues going on right now, unless like the kids ain't doing like the average stuff, like their homework type stuff, and having a conversation about them and just grades and just things that they need to be doing around the house, chores and stuff like that. But for the most part, like I don't really think we struggle at a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah. And I was thinking about what you were saying earlier, because the fact that you have that support, I have that support. At any time, do you ever think like, man, if I had to do this on my own,
that should be rough,
bro? My hat goes off to single parents, because the fact that like sometimes my kids, they're just working my last nerve, and I'm just like, bro, like my wife comes home and like, okay, your turn.
I mean, they do it though.
Yeah.
Like my sister-in-law, my wife's sister, like she's a single mother and she has 3 girls, and the oldest I think is 15 or 15, say 15, something like that. But she has the oldest that's 15, the 11-year-old, and I think like 10, but
Yeah.
she does it all. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't even think that she's struggling just for the fact that she's been doing it for so long. Like she basically is a pro at it. You know what I'm saying? But I came from a single parent household growing up when we went to Harris. You know what I'm saying? Like I lived with my mom, my sisters. We had our dads that came into the picture, but my mom and my dad was never together.
Yeah, I was in the same situation.
You know what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to see someone struggle. And for the ones that struggle, you know, we try to you know, as far as my household, we try to do our best to kind of help certain individuals to, you know, come up with a plan. You know what I'm saying? And encourage them, coach them, budgeting, stuff like that. That's going to help them kind of save money or make more money, or just encourage them to want to go out and do more. So but for the most ones that are single, like I don't know. I see them struggle, and it's not a beautiful thing to struggle. But then again, you got people behind you that's going to support you to kind of help you with that struggle.
Right.
So
Yeah. When I think about you know, growing up in a you know, you know, single parenting, you know, household and stuff like that, because of that method and because of their ways, like I've changed dramatically on how I'm gonna raise my kids because I would never want them to put them through the same thing that we had to go through.
yeah,
Granted, it was a different time, but at the same extent, like some of the struggles that we had to deal with, I wouldn't ever want to put them through that. You know what I mean?
I don't think I can do it though, bro. Like, cause my ass, like, I need to start like cause the bills get paid,
Yeah.
but my wife, like, she does it all.
Nice.
And that's one of the things where I'm like, yo, like if I ever like if something were to ever happen, you know, God forbid, if I go or she goes,
Yeah.
like I basically would be in the world, you know, like kind of brand new to budgeting
I
and
would
trying to
too.
save and stuff and
Yeah.
trying to work everything out just because me and her we do it together.
Yeah.
So for something to where I had to be a single parent, like it'd be a brand new world for me.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest flex for you being fatherhood?
What you mean?
Like your biggest flex. Like, you know, some people will be like, "Man, my grilling skills is really good," or like, "I'm really good at mechanic," or you know, something that you identify, you know, with fatherhood that it's like it's your bragging rights.
Shit, man. I don't know, man. I try to do it all.
Yeah.
Um, my kids, they're really wanting to cook. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to cooking, me and my wife had this conversation with the kids before to kind of see who can cook the better meals around the house.
Yeah.
My wife she has her favorites, but it's like when I do get on the grill, like it's like finger looking good. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah?
So like I make it like a mean ass shrimp boil. So normally
Yeah.
when I do a shrimp boil, I got like friends, the family, like, yo, like when you going when we
Yeah.
doing shrimp boil? I'm like, you know, it's whenever. But I think for the most part, I mean, I'll probably have to use your example. Just probably just grilling. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause when I
Yeah.
make some chicken, like I got to do that good. And then my young ones, it's like they have it's where they want to start cooking,
Yeah.
but we're constantly on the go. Where like sometimes where if I don't get dinner done on time,
Yeah.
then we're pushing to get dinner late. Before you know it, it's like I can't really coach them on wanting to get out there and learn how to cook because they're going to be at they're at that age now where you got 10-year-olds right now that's whipping it up and grilling type
Yeah.
stuff, and you know what I'm saying, from watching like the what
Just YouTube alone.
man, or even what was it Chef Gordon Ramsay with the
Yeah.
kids and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like I need to start prepping them just because when they get older, there's just gonna be some other kids that just don't know how to kind of defend for their, well, I guess, fend for themselves. So
Right.
but I would probably say grilling maybe.
Yeah. So let me ask this question because now I'm just thinking about it. You know, for your wife that's watching, who would you say is a better cook?
The wife is watching.
Yeah. Man, that's hard, man. Like, cause so my thing is now, like, she caters to things that everyone can eat, but now that, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting older,
Yeah.
you know, you start to have like issues, digestive issues. So I can't really eat everything that she used to make. Like she used to make a mean ass jambalaya, and I used to
Yeah.
love like jambalaya with the rice and the sausage and all that. But I can't. I don't really eat the spicy stuff no more. So if I had to say between me and her being a better cook and just plain out, I probably have to say me hands down. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
mean, I can go to seafood, I can go to the chicken, I can go to wings,
Yeah.
and throw it in. But I mean, it's a man's world, baby. Like I got it.
And I'm thinking about because the fact that we were talking about Harris and everything else. Do you have your kids watch throwback cartoons?
We talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it because I tell them like their cartoons that they have now is way
Trash.
different from what we had before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rocky and Bullwinkle,
Yeah.
Underdog. You know what I'm saying? Like Johnny Bravo, like
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like the Transformers. It was just all original. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we even like the old Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like Mickey Mouse used to be like mean to Pluto. You know what I'm saying? Like, or even
like Power Rangers, or you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I wanted to mention some of these where like Bobby's World, Life with Louie, Eek the Cat, Hey Arnold, other shows like Captain Planet. I don't know if you ever watched Casper and Friends, Ren and Stimpy, and Animaniacs.
All them.
Yeah, they're such good classics. And then this new generation, seems to be superficial about looks, and image. Are you doing hand-me-downs, or is that like a hard no? Are you passing on that?
I mean, hand-me-downs, I'm not against hand-me-downs. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a generation where hand-me-downs was, like pretty constant. Our parents' days and even our grandparents, hand-me-downs was like, you get this and you're happy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but now in our age, like if I were to give my daughter something that was like from the other daughter, she'll probably be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. You know what I mean? They my kids are they're what's the term I want to use? Like they I don't know, they're I don't know, bro. Like I don't know. I can't even think of it right now. But my kids, they want everything brand new. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, but so for the most part, like they want to be receptive to the hand-me-downs, I guess. No.
Yeah. And then I wanted to get a male's perspective on what would you say is the biggest misconception of mothers.
The biggest misconception?
Yeah. Like one thing that is just kind of overlooked, or they don't get enough credit for.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people downgrade each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like whether it's man or woman. But for the mothers, I think men just don't give a lot of women credit enough for the stuff that they do for their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as raising them or what they go through to raise them. Just because I came from a single parent household, so I know what my mom had to go through and what she had to struggle with. So I think for the most part, just a lot of people or just men in general need to kind of recognize like they're their spouse, or even if they're not together, just knowing just what they do. But then again, I know some women out there probably are not really doing the stuff they need to do or should be doing. So therefore, it leads the dude or the father of the kids to mess around and kind of try to take custody. But for the most part, just acknowledging them for everything that they did. Even though they may not be doing things the right way, but just still acknowledging them.
Yeah, and just having them be at home sometimes. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot. But if you're ever at home with the kids and, the wife is out, whatever the case is, you're like, man, this is a lot of work. Because not only are you trying to you got to feed them, you got to make sure that they're taking care of every single thing. And
everything.
Yeah. And then by the time that, the day's end, you're like so mentally drained.
Yeah. I mean, I've been there before, but I mean, it was, I don't know, man. I mean, between my 4 kids and because my wife, sometimes she'll have to travel from here, maybe because her headquarters is back in Florida. So there was those days and them times where she will be gone, like maybe one time for, maybe 4 days.
Yeah.
But it's every now and then where she'll have to travel. So during them days, then it's like, waking them up, getting them ready for school, the breakfast, picking them up, the homework. But I mean, it can be overwhelming, but it gets done. But I've been with that before.
Nice. So before we continue, we're gonna take a quick potty break. We're gonna pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
We are back. So I did want to bring on this question because the whole Tyree situation, man, it broke my heart. In this case, because the fact that all the cops were black and everything else, does that ever change the narrative?
So I personally haven't really been following the news on the Tyree situation.
Yeah.
But I do look at the news, CNN. So I do know that there was 5 cops that have got arrested. I haven't really followed on his particular story. So if you can tell me more so about the individual.
So the whole situation was he was apparently, pulled over for aggressive, reckless driving is a situation. I only watched bits and parts of the video, bro.
Okay.
Like I can't, because of the fact that like it breaks my heart, because I'm looking at it as a father's perspective, but I'm also looking at it from just a regular human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They pull him over, and they rough him up a little bit, and someone pepper sprays him, and I think that's what startled him. So he takes off running.
Okay.
That pisses the cop off, where then all of a sudden they take their anger out on him.
Right.
He didn't pass until after he succumbed the injuries 3 days later. He ended up, passing away.
Okay.
But I don't know, bro. I'm kind of we're my own opinion, but I feel like we're pushed on so much to try to get us numb, to where I feel like a lot of times it feels like we're numb to these situations. But at the same time, I'm evenly frustrated because of the fact that, like, you know what I mean? I know one of the reasons why I was asking that question was because the fact that one person was just like, they posed a question if it made it any better or worse because of the fact that the cops weren't white. To me, a person lost a life at the end of the day. Like, it's just, I'm looking at it as a father. If that was my son, I don't know if I can physically say what I would do. I just know I would have, at this point. I mean, I would have lost my mind if that had been my kid. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's my kids are younger. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really know about the things that we're seeing
right
with the cops. But then again, my son, eventually he's gonna get to that age where he's gonna get older, and then obviously you're gonna fear for him when he leaves out the door, just basically what kind of people he's gonna come across. But the actions of any cop that abuses it, their authority, when your main goal or main objective is to protect and serve, I feel like they take the badge and they like they abuse their power. You know what I'm saying? So for that, like, they need to get basically what any other person would get, whether they're black or white. You know what I'm saying? But in most cases, this has changed now because the officers are black. You know what I mean? But for the most part, any things that we have been seeing when it comes to like officers, shooting people, killing people, they have all basically been, Caucasian and doing it to the black folks. You know what I'm saying? So that's where, where the Black Lives Matter movement pretty much is starting to get, just pushed because of, what I'm saying? Like, now cameras is catching it. Now this stuff is becoming more public, and now we're actually out here to catch these actions. So regardless, now these officers basically are doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now they're black. They need to go ahead and stand trial for the things that they did. But yeah, they did. I mean, I'm not in support of that at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but the thing is like, we need to hold, not giving these officers, any excuse or whatever the case is, but I wish that we would just, hold the law for everybody at the same extent, no matter who you are, whatever the case is. Because I feel that, I'm not pulling the race card, whatever the case is, but I feel like a lot of times, because a cop is white, they get away with so much, and it pisses me off because it's like, anybody else, it's like, oh, we're gonna throw the book. Now all of a sudden we're gonna make a situation. We're gonna make, an example out of the situation. Why the hell weren't you guys doing that 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago? You know what I mean?
Times are different though. At that time,
I feel like it's the same though.
I mean, but 20, 30 years ago, like, the only, what I'm saying, I can't say the only, but, Rodney King got beat, right?
You're right.
And that stuff was captured. But before that, a lot of that stuff wasn't really being, just recording. Nowadays it's social media. You know what I'm saying? So people nowadays are actually out to pull their phone quick out before you can call 91.
And that's another thing. That's another thing that's just crazy. If someone's in hurt or in harm, stop depending on the next person.
That's it.
Because of everything that's been going on. Are you mentally preparing yourself to have certain conversations with your kids as they get older?
I definitely will. You know what I'm saying? Just because, again, my kids are at the age where right now they're so impressionable. You know what I mean? Like, they cling to people that they like. You know what I'm saying? So our biggest thing is, like, my kids don't know about, like, a lot of violence. And when I'm watching, like, certain movies at the house that's violence, they don't watch it with me. You know what I'm saying? They don't watch scary movies. They don't watch things with fighting scenes. So now they're at that age where they're getting older. And it's either we had that conversation with them, explain this to them, otherwise their friends are going to do it.
Yeah.
Before you know it, their friends are going to kind of, put more, fire on it, you know what I'm saying, to kind of egging them to doing things that are not supposed to be right. So I
Right.
feel with us, it's just more so just trying to educate them on just the things that's happening, the do's and the don'ts. Like, you know what I'm saying, when my kids see cops, they don't see, you know, just a Caucasian officer. They see someone that's basically just a police officer,
Yeah.
you know, regardless of color. You know what I'm saying? So I think just being able to just kind of prepare them and just educate them on the things that can possibly happen. But because my son and well, my I guess you say my twins, they're 4, so I still got a long time, you know what I'm saying, before I can have that conversation with them, you know, as far as like what he needs to be doing when he's out in public, make sure that he's acting right, get pulled over by cops, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, be respectful.
Yeah.
Because I think nowadays a lot of people feel like because they do have their rights, but then again, they want to also snap back at officers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do this, you ain't got the right to do this, arguing with them. Then before you know it, the situation is now, you know, infused with more gasoline
Yeah.
versus complying and just being respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things you can do to handle officer to where, you know, maybe, you know, they're having a bad day, but then again, you talk with them, you know, peacefully and respectfully, they might let you go.
Yeah.
You know, man. But there's just a lot of things that pretty much kind of plays in respect. But I damn do worry about that when my kids do get older. Just because I know the kind of world that we live in right now. Like,
Yeah.
it's a beast right now.
And with me, like I started having some of the conversations with my boys. You know, for us, you know, we live in, you know, in a Mexican household, so it's like these are situations that potentially can come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it just I know it needs to, you know, start happening because kids are advancing so quick these days
Quick.
that I feel like now we're having to have the conversation where we were having the conversation maybe 12, 13. Now we're having to have these conversations at 8. You know what I mean?
Hey,
It
it's
is
shocking.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah. Um, and I know this might be an obvious question, but what would you advise for those who may not understand to advise to their kids in teaching them good logics and empathy, you know, in regards to, you know, to race?
You said what
Like, what would you say would be helpful when someone like as a father is trying to teach their kids about race to be able to learn the logics and the empathy with it?
I mean, uh, now I'm having this conversation with my kids about different races just
Yeah.
because the school that they go to, there's different races there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, one of my daughters, she's good friends with a little girl that's like Nigerian. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So when they go over there, it's like I kind of like I kid around with them, but I'm like, yo, what they having for dinner over there? Like, y'all
Yeah.
gonna eat like some like, y'all gonna eat like some goat or something like that? 'Cause if
Yeah.
y'all do, I like bring me something back because I'm
Yeah.
just like, you never know, like they may have that over there. But
Yeah.
I tell them like, okay, well, she's from a certain part of Africa, you know what I'm saying? And then I tell them about the, you know, like the people that are white, but I'll tell them like, okay, instead of calling them white people, they're Caucasian.
Yeah.
And then again, you got those that are, you know, that are brown skin, but then again, they're Hispanic,
Yeah.
Mexican, they speak Spanish. So
Yeah.
I think for them, I just kind of tell them that we're all equal. You know what I mean? Like, we all equal, we all bleed the same, we all still eat the same, we
Yeah.
all, you know, go to the bathroom the same. We're just different nationalities, but at the same time, we're still all the same. So
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that they don't come across like certain people, you know what I'm saying, were racist, where they have to experience racism.
Right.
And then I have to talk to them about like, okay, well, this is the kind of person that doesn't like a, you know, a white person or a black person or a Hispanic person just because of the way that they are or the color of their skin. But I know
Yeah.
that conversation is going to have to have soon. But I see people on social media that do encounter those situations at a
Yeah.
young age, but I haven't experienced yet, and I'm hoping I don't, but I know
Yeah,
I
I
will
hope
though.
not. But a beautiful thing, a beautiful note from all that is the fact that we're you know everybody is you know we're starting to create this melting pot. So I feel like we're gonna start moving away from that narrative because the fact that we're all gonna have you know we're not all gonna be you know just one race whatever the case is.
You know,
So it's gonna be able to
biracial mixed
stop.
babies,
Yeah, so it's gonna be able to stop. You know, I mean, and you know, do a genio. I don't even know how that word is, but you know, the test where you actually see what you are.
Yeah, the DNA, like the
That
ancestry,
Genealogy.
yeah. I
Yeah.
couldn't say the word. It was you know third grade education.
I mean, and but see, a thing with my family, like I got like a lot of mixed breeds in my family.
Right.
Like my dad's side of the family, like it's straight like black and white,
Yeah,
black and Indian, black and black. Like my mom's side is black, white, black, Mexican, black, and my cousin has kids with I think she was from the islands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a little bit of Samoan or Tongan.
yeah,
So there's a lot of biracial mixed breeds in my family. You know what I'm saying? So like I've like growing up when we were kids,
yeah,
a lot of my friends were different, you know, races.
yeah.
And I never looked at anything,
And I
as
didn't
far as like a
either.
different color. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
racist, you know, but I do know a racist person when I see that person, And do I dislike that person? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you are racist. But I'm like, a lot of my good friends are Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people I played football with in high school, straight Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? Like, and those are close friends of mine. So like, I've never seen color, like ever.
Yeah, and it's weird too because when I was growing up, like we just seen, everybody is friends, whatever the case is. Now it just seems like okay, like we were having to have that, that conversation.
Yeah.
So I have some family who is sick, and it's been a struggle bus this past week. I mean, we have kids that are just emotional. I got a mother-in-law who's sick and stuff like that. Actually, shouldn't say that. I'll probably edit it out later. Anyways, with that question, how are you explaining? I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even say that. How are you explaining death to your kids?
That's a tough one, bro. Like,
Yeah.
My kids, now that they're getting older, we don't experience some losses or have some losses where, like my grandma, like my mom. So I lost two grandparents actually, like maybe 2 weeks of each other. My dad's parents were together.
Yeah.
And then my mom's mom, she died first, and then so going back and showing my kids like basically it's just a circle of life. Like I really told them like everyone has to die.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want them to get scared, but they know like when I get older and I had a conversation with them before like well, daddy's gonna get I'm gonna get to an age where I am gonna be a old person, old man, and just like I'm taking care of you. If I got to come over to your house and stay with you and live with you, you're gonna take care of me. They'll be like, yeah. I'm like, even though I become like an old man and I get, and I can't do anything for myself no more, would y'all take care of me? They were like, yeah. I'm like, well, it's gonna be a certain time where eventually I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And it's like they get emotional with that, but we haven't really experienced that. But we had that conversation as far as like, just the circle. Everyone basically that's born has an expiration date some way, somehow, when just just when that person times come.
Right.
But we haven't had that conversation with them a whole lot, but they do know as far as, when you're here and it's, when you're not, basically.
Yeah. I would love to hear your opinion on these situations. Because you've heard about Balenciaga, right?
Mm-mm.
So Balenciaga, they did a post of this little girl. I think she was on a couch. And on the couch itself, they had documents. Elijah, are you familiar with this one?
Very vaguely.
So the docs were sex trafficking or something like that, right? The docs that were on the couch. Do you know?
I'm sorry, you're talking to me still. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was that?
So,
my bad.
In regards to this Balenciaga ad, I think there was paperwork that was on the couch that led to sex trafficking or some type of sexual predator type stuff.
Oh, well, what I heard it was there was something to do with the spelling of Balenciaga. You're talking about the ad with the little boy in the black sweatpants, right?
No, I'm talking about the one with the little girl and the dolls in BDSM.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, so
I will exit stage left.
Because that I know we live in a deranged, perverted world. What would you say is the reason we haven't canceled, companies like Balenciaga? I mean, all these celebrities are promoting them like crazy still to this day. When they're out there promoting, pedophilia or whatever the case is.
I didn't know. You know what that is? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's just Balenciaga is a clothing brand. I think
Okay.
I don't know what else they do, but they're just Kanye West used to promote them. I think he still does. The Kardashians do the same thing. There's tons of celebrities. They're always rocking their clothes or whatever the case is. But using them as an example, why can't we seem to cancel out some of this pedophilia companies or people?
I think it's just the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think money somewhat pretty much kind of makes a lot of things come and go away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, depending on how big those pockets is, like, can simply throw some money out and basically wash any situation. So, I would just probably say just money.
Yeah.
Apologize for like the short answer, but I haven't followed up on that particular news. But I would just probably say the biggest thing is like money, just like lawyers, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
or just like judges, you know what I'm saying. Like you're gonna have someone that has money to throw money at a judge before you know it, like that case is thrown out.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just say it is probably just money is probably the issue.
Yeah. Is that one of our cars?
It's not mine. I'll go check and see.
Okay. We're taking a quick moment break. Someone's car is getting broken into. Hope not. We'll see. Well, he goes and checks. Here's another situation. A mother was asked her child's father for $300 to bail her current boyfriend out of jail. What is this conversation like to your child's mother if this happens to be a situation?
I mean, for me, like personally, just because I'm married and we ain't got no, other kids outside of us, like that's not something that's had. But it's for me. I had a conversation with my dude that shaves my head.
Yeah.
And he basically has a couple of baby mamas.
Yeah.
But the baby mom, and this conversation was like last week.
Yeah.
But the baby mom actually has a boyfriend, and she's been asking for cash as well. He's like, you know what? I shouldn't have to give you no cash. Like when you got a dude that's with you, you laid up with a dude right now. You still ask me for cash. But it's like at the same time, like, is it cash for your child?
Yeah.
But then again, in this case, it's to bail the dude out. I'm like, yo, if you got to bail him out, then obviously you got a deadbeat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need to go ahead and cut him loose just because, like,
I don't need to be around my
can't,
kids.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? He can't, pay no bills, and you basically forking up or trying to get money to get him out. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a deadbeat. You just got to basically cut him loose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's for me. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be a no go. And if I was in that situation, like if
I wouldn't have done it. I would have been like, go find that $300 somewhere
you know what
else.
I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Like if whatever reason, if me and my spouse, which we not, but if me and my spouse got divorced, and her dude was locked up, like shit, fuck that. Like you got
to figure it out.
He ain't my he ain't my homeboy. Like
go start a GoFundMe for him because I'm not helping you.
That's not me.
Yeah,
that's your situation.
Yep. What about this one? An interrogation video was leaked of a father who snitched on his son for murder. Is he wrong for snitching, and what are you doing, depending on the issue, if you're caught in this situation?
So the son, the father snitched on the son?
Yeah, so the father got caught up or whatever. He was, being interrogated, whatever the case is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he ends up snitching on the son. And, oh, my son did it. Me personally, I would have been like, I don't know. It's a hard situation. I don't know if I could out my son like that.
Most parents that I know is probably gonna mess around and ride it till the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? Like, I'm not giving my child. That's my child regardless. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be. You figure it out yourself, but I'm not gonna sell them out.
Yeah.
And again, you may have those parents where that child may have burnt them so many times, many times. You know what I'm saying? Left and right, gave them 1 chance, 2 chance, 3 chances, and they burn all their bridges. Finally, it's just like, fuck it. That's his ass.
Yeah.
Like, he did it. He needs to sit his ass behind the bars and think about what he did.
That's a long time.
and think about what he did. But then again, you got those parents that's probably like, you know what I'm saying, this is my child, and if I'm not giving you nothing about it, it's either you figure it out, but I can't help you.
Yeah,
did you say murder?
Yes, murder.
But I'd have to figure out the reason.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going. I was just going to contradict myself because one of two things would have to happen. I would have to figure out what happened. And what was his reasoning?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, shit, I guess it all just depends on, just like you said, what the situation was. But for me, like my kids, like, baby, go give me a shovel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the evidence or something like that. Like, yeah.
And the last one. This one is crazy and totally a morbid situation. But a father in Utah kills his wife, his 5 kids, and mother-in-law, then himself because his wife wanted to leave, seeing how the father was going crazy. My question is this: if you come across other fathers who may seem to be going off, a little crazy, a little bit. Granted, this is more of a highly dramatic situation, but what are you doing to offer your help for other fathers that you might think like, man, this person's gonna lose it. This person's gonna do something crazy.
I mean, I worked in behavioral health. You know what I'm saying? So I know behavioral health is a real thing, and a lot of people basically struggle with it. And those that struggle with it, that can handle it, they either take it they life themselves or they take their family. And we've seen that before. These things, really happen.
Yeah.
But if I could, before intervene into the situation, is basically trying to get out and have a conversation with this person. You know what I'm saying? Talk with them, just to kind of find out what the issue is. But then again, those people that have their mind set on either ending their own lives or their family, like somehow they're gonna figure out how to get it done and basically do what it is that they're thinking about.
Right.
But for the most part, it's just basically being human.
Yeah.
Being human and just lending another just an ear for them to talk and lean on. And if anything, basically try to encourage them to get out the situation. I mean, you might not want
therapy
to.
Too.
You know what I'm saying? You might not want to, but at the same time, it's like you hurting the kids, you hurting the family, you hurting yourself. So it's either, you know what I'm saying, like you're gonna try to take the help that's being offered and basically know that there's gonna be a life outside of this one and things get better.
Yeah.
But then again, a lot of people just don't they don't do that. And it's an unfortunate thing, just because this stuff happens pretty often than what we think. There was someone that was killed by my mother-in-law had a coworker that she basically was supervising, that she was working with, training with her, and my mother-in-law actually experienced this where basically the employee,
Yeah.
her husband basically killed her like
Wow.
like about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And the mother of the lady that was killed didn't get along with the father, with the husband, and nothing like that. So you can tell like there were always just issues right there. But he ended up just basically taking her life. So I don't know. It's something that's always going to happen.
Yeah, and one of the things I like to advocate, even more so on the socially awkward and uncomfortable, which happens to be the other podcast, I like to promote mental health, mental awareness, because of the fact that we don't take it serious.
At all.
There's so much stuff that goes into it, and not just with your mental, but even your internal time clock. Because the fact that if you're not doing some of the simplest things, as water and and sleep, that also permits you to start going off the hinges a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I did have a sound effect on there, but it is gone. So, but you know what this time means? It's now time for the no, the O, and the laugh. It's where this and every show we give out a random hack, fun fact, or message and joke. Sorry, I'm taking a minute, but today's hack. If your kids have a test or exam coming up, have them send out a mass text to a few people in the class stating for everyone to swap the study guides or notes. And then that way they won't have to do most of the work. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, work smarter.
Yes. And the joke. How did the dinosaur used to pay for things? Do you know?
Fossil card?
No. Yeah. Do you know, Elijah?
Um,
How did the dinosaurs almost had the answer? How did the dinosaurs used to pay for things?
Dino card?
No. They used Tyrannosaurus checks. That's a long laugh. We're trying to shorten it up a little bit, but. And the message for today. Fathers are the most ordinary men turned by love into heroes, mechanics, adventurers, storytellers, and passionate men. With that being said, no man, especially this gentleman that I have in front of me, will ever be this father's equal as your own fathers out there. No man you'll love as much either. So show your fathers you genuinely care. Time is short, but slow at the same time. Take advantage of the moment you have now. As we wrap up the show, I want to give a huge shout out to today's guest, Michael.
Appreciate it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
How'd you like the show?
Man, it was fun.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Good conversation.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, things that we're all able to just relate and speak about. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is my way of just being able to try to figure it out on my own, because I go home and I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah.
because I there's no, I say this plenty of times, there's no rule or handbook. So, being the fact that I get the opportunity to talk to other fathers, and mothers at the same time, like, I love it. You know what I mean? Because it's helping me.
It's a learning experience. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like you learn, something that you do know of or something that you don't know of. I mean, just learning. That's it.
Yeah, it's my therapy. So, do you want to promote anything? You want to push anything? Plug anything?
No, not right now, man. I appreciate just coming out today.
Yeah.
Out today and just having this conversation. Like I was ready to get out the house. Like I got home,
Yeah.
took my shower, was like, all right, 1:00, baby, I'll be back.
Nice. Yeah. I did want to point out too that you used to get certificates all the time from Peter Piper Pizza for reading, and I did want to I did want to point out the fact that he was like #1 for the DARE program as well. So
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Scholastics and Dare.
yes. And as always, Mr. Habari Life himself, Mr. Dip, and Elijah Wells for Generations Lee.
Thank you.
Please like and follow Habari Live Podcast, Habari Entertainment, and check out other shows on there like Habari Live, The Von Rebel Show, Socially Awkward and Uncomfortable, Wealth for Generations, and what are the other 2 shows now? What's XL?
Shit. The shit that show? XL
No,
Dreamcatcher?
XL and then Mario Show.
Oh, I don't know Mario. I didn't know Mario started a show.
Oh, I thought he did. Well, if he does, we're giving him an early plug.
Mario's show.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
It starts with "Here we go."
Please also check out One Love on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Stay safe out there, stay hydrated, and make it a great day. And we're out.
That's chocolate, right?